your startup,
hmm
and this is a big idea against big tech surveillance, big data exploitation. How are you handling how big this is?
I mean, it is a monumental pivot.
Welcome to Entrepreneurs the Playbook. I'm David Meltzer, and we have an amazing person coming on, my newest favorite entrepreneur. That's because he talks, walks, and has a business about freedom. Freedom from what most businesses and individuals are most afraid of and interfere with their own ability to communicate. Tanner Haas is here, CEO of Freedom Chat. Welcome to Entrepreneurs the Playbook.
Thank you so much for having me on, David.
Well, you got a lot of credentials behind you, Tanner. Four-time founder, three-time author, and CEO of Freedom Chat, all underneath your belt at a very young age. You have built companies across wellness, autism care, and of course, privacy tech, which I'm sure has led you to Freedom Chat. You focus in on real problems with a mission, like I do, allowing the commissions to follow. Give me an idea what frustrated you most with all the success that you had to create a private social messaging app that gives everyone control over their own digital lives.
So there are a few reasons. And am I allowed to curse on this or not?
Yes, please curse. We like it.
Please curse, encourage it.
It's
I
a
mean,
sign of
these other apps
intelligence.
are, they're full of shit, in all honesty. And I had a marketing SEO company, and we had clients that range from publicly traded to large pharmacies. Like it did really well. And we managed a conservative website. And if you look at the statistics, people that are concerned about privacy more likely to lean on the right side or independent. And I started going through some of these comments, and I'm like, what are they saying? Why are they so concerned? And when I actually went down the rabbit hole, the more I dug into it, the more terrifying it got. That just because an app, let's say WhatsApp, for example, if you go onto their website, I mean, if you go check it out, how it looked 3 years ago to today, completely different. All they focus on is end to end encryption. And they keep shoving that down your throat, saying end to end encryption, end to end encryption. That used to mean and should mean that nobody could read any message that you send under any circumstance. But WhatsApp has, I mean, changed the definition that actually, if you report a user, they can see the last 5 messages you sent. They could back up your conversation on another device. So it's end-to-end encryption when they want it to be. And then they say, "Yep, speak privately." But then they take every piece of metadata. So you and I are talking. If we're messaging on WhatsApp, they take who we are, what contacts do we have in our phone, how do those relate, what's your device, your IP address, what's your political affiliation, financial information. Like they take all this information, they store everything on a server. To me, that's not private. And it just aggravated me enough that I think is a big enough problem. It's only going to continue to get worse. That let's create a messaging app that actually is private, that hits on the three pillars of privacy, as I call it. And that's end-to-end encryption, true end-to-end encryption, that nobody under any circumstance can read what you say unless they are the intended recipient. We don't store messages on our server. So as soon as a message, image, or video is successfully delivered, it's removed from our server, helps keep our costs low. It's actually I mean, privacy, it's good for the consumer as well. And then we have no commercial use of user data, which is a big one. So, long story short, got fed up enough. I don't think these other companies are telling the truth. There's a huge market there, and it's only going to continue to get worse unless somebody comes in and makes a change.
Yeah, when we're talking about tech surveillance and data exploitation, we're really addressing our information being leaked, one, or two, other cyber crimes that occur because of the information and the access to that information. And although it's quite easy for these big companies to lie to us,
Mm-hmm.
there are some practical mechanisms that you utilize with Freedom Chat that I love, that guarantee the end-to-end encryption as well as facilitate accidental uh, communication. And having three daughters, uh, understanding how kids are stupid. I always say, excuse my language, but nothing's dumber than a teenager. And I mean that with love, since I have several. And I was in that group too. Humbly, I'm applying it to when I was a teenager. And now at 57, I'll repeat it. There's nothing dumber than a teenager. So it's more than just having the end-to-end encryption. You're actually facilitating, protecting people from themselves and their
Mhm.
stupidity. And there's a lot of things that accidentally occur at the highest levels of government to the teenagers and pre-teenagers that are on social media. Give me some of the capabilities of Freedom Chat that provide beyond the tech surveillance and data exploitation from big tech. Uh,
Mhm.
there's a lot of individual protections that are afforded not just in cybercrime, but in all types of other areas that can really jeopardize somebody's future.
So you touched on it, and I mean, there's an example of someone really high up in government. So let's take two scenarios. Is one, I think everybody on the planet can say that they've sent an image or a text or a video, something that they're, yeah, probably shouldn't have sent that. And usually, I mean, especially teenagers, they've sent a image that they shouldn't have sent, and it's screenshotted and it's shared all over school, and it quite honestly can ruin their future completely. Videos get out, same thing. So what we did for Freedom Chat is we prevent all screenshots and screen recordings entirely. If I send you my credit card, you try to take a screenshot, all you'll get is a blank white screen. You cannot save any image or video to your device without my explicit permission. And you can also edit, unsend, and self destruct any image, video, or text at any moment, at any time, without any limitation. Meaning, I can send you 1,000 messages. I could hit unsend all, and they're gone off of your device within a second. So I think that's one of the biggest selling points, because every single person has sent something that they shouldn't have. And when it's on somebody else's device, you're okay. Yep, that's gone. They can do with it what they please. And you've seen, I mean, I've seen messages on social media. Somebody takes a screenshot of something that somebody said years ago, and it's like, okay, that's, if we're going to do that, everybody can fall in that boat. I mean, everybody's done something stupid. And most recently, let's take the Signal fiasco. What happened with Pete Hegseth is the Atlantic editor took a screenshot of the chat. So one, that wouldn't have happened on Freedom Chat. Uh, Two, we don't support linked devices. I think that, while convenient, is just stupid. That's my honest opinion. Meaning that you have four devices, but your phone number can be linked to every single one. Yeah, that's convenient, but who's to say it's only limited to those four devices? Somebody else can try to get your phone number and log in Russia or in China, which has been happening. So we're built from the ground up to ensure individuals' freedom. And freedom today, people, I mean, they associate that with on the right. Freedom is ubiquitous. People in Taiwan, Taiwan News wrote an article about us. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants privacy. So that's where we're giving it to them. And every feature that, before we roll it out, we literally ask ourselves, like, how does this further our mission? How is it helping give privacy and freedom to the user, making it easier to use, and just bring all their conversations onto the platform?
So one of the things that I really respect about you is when I was in 1991 at 31, I was working for Samsung's data phone division and I had the world's first smartphone. They didn't even call them smartphones. They called it a PC-E phone, combination of a phone and a PC. They called it a convergence device because it converged all these technologies with a Windows operating system, not an IOTA browser, but or iOS or, an Android. There was no such things. But one of the things and challenges that I had that I never really overcame, they did it after I left or was kicked out, either way you look at it. I wasn't capable of handling how big it was. Right? I knew it was big. I knew it was early, but I knew it was big, and I had a big backing. Right? I was, with a big company, but I still
Mm-hmm.
couldn't handle how big it is. How are you handling how big this is? You mentioned Taiwan. You mentioned freedom. This is ubiquitous. It
Mm-hmm.
resonates with billions, and I'll repeat with a B, billions of people, and you're a startup,
Hmm.
and this is a big idea against big tech surveillance, big data exploitation. How are you handling how big this is?
I mean, it is a monumental pivot, and I'll touch on also where this is going and how we're at the forefront of that. But we're starting. We've started slow, so um, these big tech companies are very territorial, and I'm speaking from experience because we actually launched our beta version. I mean, believe it or not, they're very like that's
I
obviously a
know.
joke, but it's so we launched 2.5 years ago, a different company name. We got 30,000 users in 30 days. Just, I mean, my experience is sales and marketing, product development. Like I can sell, and we blew up. It's a top 100 app. Actually, I think it was top 50 most downloaded social app. Uh, but obviously, we're poking holes at big tech and some of these other companies. They didn't like that. There was some terrible press that went out about us, and some of it not true. Some of it we can't do anything about because hey, we're the little guy. Some of it was true. The product was not where it needed to be, both in products, I mean, quality, speed, security. So that was a learning lesson. Let's start small. Let's build up. So we are now building up, and the product is it's reached feature parity with WhatsApp in terms of user friendliness, but it has additional privacy and security, and we have put it through the paces. It has been ridiculously difficult, but we are ready now to take on the best of them. We're ready to scale. We have anti-spam protection because we got killed by that before. It's really just setting a firm foundation, and we've set that. We're going to be out on Android today or tomorrow, and then we're going to hit the ground running. And we have some connections, and we're not that far from the administration. We've partnered with Rumble, a $3 billion company. I mean, we're just going to really now it's full steam ahead, but it took a while to set the foundation, and now it's full steam ahead. We're scalable. Our business model works. The product is there, and I'm sure we're going to fight back against more erroneous press headlines, threats, whatever. But I mean, I'm so pissed off from the 2.5 years ago, the egregious stories that were written about us. Um,
What about the financial side, right? This is a
mhm,
big idea. It requires big money when you have and are under attack with the pettiness of big tech and
mhm.
you know the anxiety that occurs that you know that if you had mule fuel, the fire would burn brighter. How do you deal with that anxiety of, I'll be happy when, or I can't wait till this fire is fueled correctly?
I've had that mentality for 2.5 years, and I just realized I'll never be satisfied. So I keep saying,
I
"Oh,
love it.
I'll be happy when this feature drops. I'll be happy when this." And you do realize you need more money, and we are raising now, and we've raised, I mean, total with our pre-seed and seed round 2 million. We're raising another 3 million, but it's luckily we have a cost-effective business model. We have a scalable business model. We're at the right time where if we were to try to do this 20 years ago, it would have cost a lot more. Um, so we can keep our costs low. It's not as much as you think. Yeah, we do need to raise, but this is something that's so scalable. It's not like if you like AI, you need to put dollars to get more computing power. For us, we don't store messages on our server. We have anti-spam protection. We use something that called React Native that shares the code between iOS and Android. So we've set it up for scale. Yeah, we do need millions, but in no way, shape, or form will we need billions to compete, which helps ease my mind a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of, especially in a startup like this, we could be growing so quickly. You got to simultaneously raise. If you don't raise, you're dead. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you've had startups, you get it. It's a never ending anxiety, excitement battle.
Yeah, the good news is that the big companies won't want to steal your idea. They don't want to implement those features
No.
because it'll kill their business model, which leads me to the last question, which is, obviously you're taking away a lot of the revenue streams, which is why big tech and big data love to have these type of features and benefits that
Mhm.
expose and exploit the consumer. Like I always say, if you think something's free, then you're the product.
Yes,
I'll
100% correct.
always remember that. So, what does your model look like to do what the big tech and big data companies can't do? Because you're not going to be able to monetize me as a product,
Hmm.
just providing a value to me, the greatest value I could assume as a father, a business person, an entrepreneur, a media person. This is incredible. It's big for me, but how do you monetize me now?
So we have a few different business models is and none of them involve user data. So the first is a standard pay for privacy, but we will always have a free version. So after 150 messages, a pop-up appears and you can either pay for exclusive features a monthly, 5.99 a month or 52.99 a year. And if you say, you know what, no, I can't afford that, don't want to pay for it, okay, you will always have access to Freedom Chat. Everything will always be end-to-end encrypted, and we will never have use of your data. The other one, which I mean, because when we went on I was on the Go Fund Yourself show. I signed a deal with one of the Titans. Is a white label product, and that's for could be other messaging type applications, dating apps, HIPAA compliant telemedicine chats. So really, we're focused on chats because it's not just the individual. I mean, if you think of all the conversations that happen in healthcare, or on dating apps, or on banking's different because you need certain requirements there, but there's nobody is speaking as privately as they think they are. And then in the future, also, I want to be able to set up something to B2B where we license our encryption and we power a lot of the healthcare industry. So I see this more as a cybersecurity company with a brand that's called Freedom Chat, more so than, oh, it's a private messaging app. I really see it as a full fledged cybersecurity company that has universal applications. And a lot of our features, I mean, it's not just like an individual thing. All that should be implemented for a telemedicine chat where somebody can't screenshot, you can't save images without their permission. It's all end-to-end encrypted. And then I see this going another direction is we're going to be releasing something later this year, early next, called post-quantum cryptography, which is quantum safe encryption. And that's encryption against quantum computers, which is going to wreak havoc on the world once they're released. So
It is an amazing company, Freedom Chat. It is a private social messaging app that will also be a powerful engine to give everyone control over their newly formed digital lives. They're exposed and exploited and surveyed public digital lives. Take control of your life and be free with Freedom Chat. The amazing entrepreneur, four-time founder, three-time author, CEO of Freedom Chat, the incredible Tanner Haas. Thanks for joining me here on Entrepreneurs, the Playbook.